Hey guys, I'm trying a different way to video this flower pot, lollipop flower pot present that I've put a blog post on my blog site about. It's very difficult to try and video. I thought I'll just video and do you a walkthrough of exactly how I created this one. So bear with me, this is probably a bit wobbly and a little bit awkward, but I just wanted to show you a couple of the key features, and then I'm going to show you how I created each of the individual little flowers. So I just want to zoom in, and these are basically little, there's 33 in here, 33 little mini Chubba Chup lollipops made into little individual flowers, and there's some butterflies amongst them all, and I've got a little 33 banner on the top of it, and there's also some lady beetles on grass that surrounds the base of the flower pot. And I just wanted to show you there's a fair bit going on in this, but the basic structure for this is about creating those lollipop flowers. I want to quickly show you how I did that, so I'll put the camera up and I'll be back in a second. Okay guys, this is the top view of my lollipop pot plant, and I want to quickly just show you how I've put these lollipops together and turn them into little flowers. You would be surprised, they're so easy to make, and you can use any flower base that you have in your collection, whether it be a punch or a die, to put these together. They are so easy to do. They look stunning as a little bouquet for somebody. All you need to do is have time to sit down, and once you've made one, to do it as many times as you'd like your bouquet to be. So let me just put this out of the way, and I will quickly show you then how I put the flowers together. So all I need is, these are mini Chubba Chups, so they're smaller than our standard Chubba Chups that we get, and then I've used the Blossom Party die to punch myself out a red larger blossom, I don't know, there's not a name for it, and a white daisy looking one. You'll see when you look at the photo again that my flowers are tiered, from really low ones at the front and tall ones at the back, and you know that the Chubba Chups are a standard size. What I actually did was I used toothpicks to extend the height to make taller flowers towards the center of my display, and I'll show you how that comes into play in a little bit. You'll also need a little bit of ribbon to make leaves, and a 1/4 inch wide strip of designer series paper for to cover your Chubba Chup stem, roughly 8 to 10 inches depending again on how tall you make your flower. So let me quickly show you how I put these together. Okay, so crocodile. I used the small hole on my crocodile punch. Actually, I lie. I used the large hole on my crocodile punch to go into the center of the big flower, punch a hole, and into the center of the white flower and punch a hole like that. So 2 holes. For the larger flower, all I do is take my bone folder and distress this one a little bit. Again, nothing really exciting. We've done that 1,000 times before, so that you so it sort of starts to curl up and sort of will curl around your lollipop. You can do it as much or as little as you like. For the purposes of my video, that's going to do. You can actually get your bone folder on a mat and give it a good rub to make it even curl more. Then your little inner daisy leaves, I just take one at a time on my bone folder, give them a little distress so that they curl up. Now if you do have more than one layer to your flower, like you could just quite easily do one flower, one set of petals and put that around your lollipop, that would be fine. But if you do decide to do multiple layers like I did, it is good to put a little bit of adhesive, I'm just using the 2A glue pen, to glue your layers together. That way they will sit tight, flush up against the lollipop together. So let that dry for a couple of minutes. Now the only other tip I have for you guys is when they wrap these lollipops, they're obviously machine wrapped and they can be a bit daggy. Sometimes you've got these loose bits hanging off, sometimes they're not run really tight. It does impact on the ability to wind your paper around. So what I do, if there are loose bits there, I just trim them off. Make sure you don't break the seal so the lollipop actually goes off, because that defeats the purpose of having a lovely bunch of lollipops if you can't eat them. But I do trim off those little daggy bits that sort of stick out because I don't like them and they make my stems look funny. So give them a quick trim, make them look nice and neat. Then all you do, once that's set a little bit, don't need to wait too long, is you just thread that through, give it a bit of a wiggle. Now it will tear to as, well not tear, but sort of bend to as big as your lollipop needs to be. Now depending on how your lollipop's been wrapped, some flower bits go up higher than others, but just give it a gentle push and it will start to go up pretty high. See, that looks cute already. If you look at the base, you can see that it's sort of just stretched out just ever so slightly. So easy as, and then I don't like the white stems, it doesn't look like a flower, so I've just got my Designer Series paper. It's got a bit of an angle cut, sticky strip on the back. You don't have to, you can just use a sticky strip at the start and at the finish, but I like it around the entire length. So just starting up underneath, and you can see I've cut the start at a bit of an angle there. That's just so that that sort of sits flat right up underneath the base of my flower. Then all you do, it's really quite simple, is just turn your Chupa Chup stick, lollipop stick, and as you're turning, just wrap that paper around as you go, like that. Okay, now it will be fat and thin, so you have to be prepared that it's not going to stick on perfectly, but they're flower stems, and as you, hopefully you didn't notice mine too much, my pot plant, they are just there to hide that white colour and to give the illusion that they're all little flowers sitting in there. Well, hopefully that's the illusion I achieved. So when you're wrapping, wrap all the way to the end. Now the first few layers in my pot plant, my Chupa Chup is just that tall. I've got to the end of my stick here, cut off the excess paper and sealed it down. And then the box is just a gift box with a lid arrangement. You can buy the blank ones from all the reject shops really quite cheaply. I've used some floral foam as an insert, and I'm not too sure, I don't think you'll be able to see, but I'll have a look. I'm not sure if you, no, that's not working at all, is it? But inside here, there is some floral foam that's been covered with tissue paper that I have stamped and just decorated just to hide the floral foam, because you don't really want to see the floral foam. So I've just got white tissue paper, stamped it with the friendly words wheel, and then I have used that, and that's when you jam your jam your lollipops into the floral foam. Now what I actually do is I use a toothpick to decide where I'm going to pop it in. So I take a toothpick, pop it into the floral foam, and then my lollipop sits over the top of that toothpick, and then I just use a little bit of pressure just to pop the end of the lollipop into the floral foam to secure it. Now if you want them all the one height, that's fantastic, but you'll notice mine are all tiered up. So to make my Chupa Chups a bit taller for the ones in the centre, the front ones are this height. For the back ones, I actually just put the toothpick in first, make it as long as I like it, and then that's when you need about the 10-inch pieces of Designer Series paper, and you continue to wrap the Chupa Chup and cover the toothpick. So I obviously didn't cut a long enough piece in this example, but basically you don't need any special glue to hold it in there. I just totally wind and cover the toothpick, and then you stick about that much into the floral foam, and that makes a taller flower for the centres in the back. So let's pretend I'm going to make a small one here, because I didn't really prepare enough paper. And then all I do to finish it off is, because I don't really like that the top gets a bit yucky, I just get a length of ribbon, and to make some leaves I just tie 2 knots. So all I do is tie 1 knot up the top of my lollipop and tie a second one. So easy, so sweet, and they do look really quite nifty. Cut those ends off nicely and trim them so they do look pretty. Don't leave them all daggy. Make as many as you like to fill your pot plant. Now you can get those great little tin buckets that you can get from reject shops, put some floral foam in it, it'll look lovely. To dress mine up a little bit, you see that I had a bit of garden greenery around the edge of my pot. Basically all that is strips of old olive cardstock, and take your scissors, and all you do is sit there by hand, yes I did by hand, and make snips, tiny snips in pieces of paper, and continue to go. Oops, that grass blade is a bit thick, until you end up with grass. And then I've just stuck them with sticky strip on the bottom all to the inside of my my box. And let's see if I can do one more quick show of that. Whoa, just there. So that's all my grass that I've just stuck onto the inside with a bit of sticky strip, and my little lady beetles that I've got stuck on my grass, and a few on I don't know if you'll be able to see them, but there's a few stuck in the actual arrangement. Oh, there's one little guy there stuck on a little leaf. Are just our basic pearls that we get from Stampin' Up, and all I've done is used a Sharpie marker to colour the pearls. I've used the biggest ones here. You can see this is my red mess from colouring them. Colour them in with a red Sharpie marker, add some black little dots to them, and then glue them onto your assembled flowers. Well, I really hope that helps, guys. They are super simple. You can use whatever flowers, punches and shapes that you have. The flower folds would be alright as well, and even our 5-petal flower punches would work just equally as well with different size Chupa Chups, as long as you cover your handle and put a hole in it with a crocodile to make your flowers. Well, I hope you enjoy making those flowers for somebody else, and they are a lot of fun, easy to do, just takes a little bit of time. Thanks, guys.